Hi guys, so today we'll be solving another medium type problem from arrays, which is called the product of array except self. Now let's see what the question says. The question says that it will give us an array nums and we have to return an array answer such that the ith element of answer is equal to the product of all the elements of num except for the ith element. Now let's see this using example 1. Example 1 says that I'll give the input as 1 2 3 4 and you have to return me 24 20 12 8 and 6. Now let's see how this array is formed. So let's try put an index to every element so that it's easier for us. So let's see for the 0th element. Now the question says the product will be equal to the elements of num except for nums of I. So for 0th element, the product will be equal to the first element, which is 2, into the second element, which is 3, into the third element, which is 4, and the product equals to 24, and we get this output for the 0th element in answer array. Now let's see for the first element in nums. The nums for first element in nums, the product will be equal to 0th element in nums, which will be 1, and then the second element, which will be 3, and then the third element, which will be 4, and the product is equal to 12. So we see that the product equals to 12. Now let's go for the second element in nums. Now the second element product will be formed by 0th element, that is 1, into first element, that is 2, into third element, that is 4, and it gives a product of 8. Now let's go to third element. Third element will be formed by the product of the 0th element, which is 1, then we get 2, and then we get to 3, which gives us 6. So this is how this answer array is being formed. Now let's try to code this. How we can do that? So the question says that it returns an answer array. So first let's try to create that array, that is equal to answer. Now we'll try to loop through the array, that will be using a for loop, and which will run from 0 to nums dot length minus 1, right, and I plus plus. So now we'll try to add another loop, which will be for j equals to 0, j is less than nums dot length j plus plus. Okay, it's I less than 0, so it will be j. Now what we have to see is that the element shouldn't be equal. So basically it shouldn't be equal to the ith element. So we'll be basically, if we try to compare these, like if I have 0th element, so I shouldn't take the product of the 0th element, but I should take the product of the another element. So basically this loop is second loop is trying to find the product of all the elements, and the first one is trying to traverse through the array. So how we will do that? So first we'll try to, so we know that if I equals to j, then we shouldn't do any operation. So that will be our first condition. So if I equals to j, so you should continue and do the remaining process. Now our next condition will be that if I is not equal to j, and j should be less than nums dot length, then I should calculate the product. So we have to store that in a variable. So let's say I store it in some result, and it should be equal to 1, because anything multiplied by 1 will be the number. So result equals to result into nums of j, right? Now we'll try to push this into this array, answer dot push result, and then we'll simply try to return this answer array. Now let's see if the test cases pass or not. Yeah, the test cases pass. Now let's see if the test cases, all the other test cases pass or not. Okay, so test cases don't pass for huge set of data. So we'll try to find an optimized solution through this. So another solution that I could do was, I'll try to explain that. So what we can do is, so I have this element, first element. So how can I'll divide that into pre-product, meaning the product before that element, and post-product, meaning the product of elements after the element. So for example, for 0th element, pre-product will be 1, but the post product will be 2 into 3 into 4, that will be 6 into 4, that will be 24, right? For first element, the pre-product will be 1, post product for first element would be 12, right? For the second element, the pre-product will be 2, post product will be 4, right? For third element, the pre-product will be 6, and post product for the last element would be 1, right? Now we will multiply both pre-products and the post product, and which will give us, so for this, the 0th element pre into post will be 24, first element post pre-product into post product will be 12, and for the second element, the pre-product into post product will be 8, and for the last element it will be 6 into 1, which would be 6. So this is what my next solution would be. Now let's try to code this. How we can do that is, okay, let's this answer stay because we have to return that anyway. So let's try to find the pre-product. So we'll take a variable called prefix and assign it 1. Then we will loop through the array. It should be less than nums.length and I++, and we should store that result first in pre-product first in the answer array. So how we can do that is, answer of I equals to prefix. Now we'll try to find how we can do the prefixes. Prefix into equal to nums of I. So this will calculate the prefix. So we can see if how we did that was, pre-product for 0th 1126. So let's see if we are getting the pre-product in our answer or not, in our answer array or not. So try to run this. Okay, so yes, it is giving me 1126 for 1 2 3 4 nums array. Now using this, we have to find post product. Now we will loop the array from the last element. So how we can do that? Equals to, so I will be equal to nums.length minus 1, and it should be greater than or equal to 0, and I minus minus, right? Now we'll try to find the postfix. So postfix, how we can do that is, so we know, so we try to find a solution that postfix for the last element would be 1, and for other elements, okay, so how we can do that is, so I'll try to so we have this array 1 2 3 and 4. Now we have pre-product as 1 1 2 6, okay, and we have to find post product, right? So how we can do that is, so this is 0 1 2 3. So for post product, now if we go from the last element, right? So for last element, we know that for 4 it will, post product will be 1. So we will simply store this element 4, not 4, sorry, 1 into 6. We'll just multiply with the prefix and we'll get 6. Now so basically we have to add a condition for postfix that everything, so for second element it would be 4, right? The postfix would be 4, and so the postfix will be nums of, so let's try to find what would be the postfix. So postfix for third element would be 1. For second element it would be 4. For first element it would be 12. Yeah, it should be 12, yes. And for the 0th element it would be 4 into 3 to 2, that would be 24, right? So this is a postfix. So we see it would be always nums of I plus 1. So we saw this pattern like this. For third element it was signifying, for third element, which is the last element, it would be, so since there is no element, so we'll consider it as 1. For second element it would be this element, right? The third element, which is nums of I plus 1. Now for this first element it would be nums of I plus 1, so it would be always nums for I plus 1, so it will be 3 into 4. And for 0th element also it would be 1, which will be 2 into 3 into 4, right? Now we see what will be the output, what will the postfix for this. The third element it would be 4, for second element it would be 12, and for the last element it would be 24. And then we multiply all this and we get 24, 12, 8 and 6, right? So we have to write a condition for this postfix. So how we can do that is postfix into equal to, okay, so we have to write a condition that if I equals to nums dot length minus 1, right? So it should give us 1, or else we could give postfix into nums of I plus 1, right? And then we will try to multiply the result of postfix into the ith element already there, where we have calculated the pre-product. So it would be equal to postfix, right? Now let's try to run our test cases. Okay, so both the test cases pass. Let's see if all the other test cases pass or not. Okay, all the test cases pass. So if you have any like optimized solution for this question, so please do comment it, and thank you for watching this video.